now we'll switch gears. We move from a customer's perspective and an end user's perspective to a partner perspective. So I'm going to pass it to Bruce Sandell, who is a partner solution architect at Looker within Google Cloud, and he and Jerod will take it to the next session. So Bruce, are you there?
Hey, thanks, Will. It looks like I can't turn my video on by myself, so I might need your help with that.
All right, Jerod, can you have any help with that?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Let's see.
All right, but Bruce, you can jump into it as we can hear you.
Awesome. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks everybody for joining. As Will said, I'm Bruce Sandell from Google Cloud, and I support lots of our database and data analytics partners, as well as all of our Looker customers. And so I just want to give you a brief overview of Looker in case you're not familiar with it, just to give you an idea of sort of how it's architected and why CData Connect Cloud is such a great complementary technology for it. So if you aren't familiar with Looker, it's Google Cloud's unified business intelligence platform for supporting all of your data needs, whether that's reporting and dashboards, embedded analytics, or completely custom data and applications. So Looker is really built to be a little bit different, a more modern way to do analytics, and that's based on focusing in a few key areas of our technology. So first, Looker has an in-database architecture. And this means that no data needs to be extracted or moved from the database or warehouse before analysis. Looker supports more than 50 unique database dialects, and Looker can take advantage of native database functionality, such as machine learning tools, built-in data permissions, and any other advanced functionality that your database provides. Second is Looker's powerful semantic modeling layer, which is known as LookML. Analysts model data and define metrics in a single unified way to keep the whole organization in sync. The analyst will define a common language for the whole business where everyone shares the same terminology, the same calculations, and the same data sources for all of your key business metrics. And developing models, metrics, and new ways to use the data is very collaborative, reduces unnecessary repetition of work, and it's Git integrated. And finally, Looker is cloud native and extendable. It's fully web-based, and with Looker, you get an API so you can connect to third-party systems and build completely custom data experiences. All right, on to you, Jerod.
Absolutely. So thanks, Bruce. So why CData Connect Cloud? Why Google Cloud? What's the better together story? I think there's a lot, but we can distill it down to 4. The first is that you get expanded data source connectivity. So Bruce mentioned the 50 different database dialects, and that's great. But as we all know, data does not just live in databases anymore. And so the real selling point here is that you get access to 100+ different SaaS applications. So your business applications, CRMs, ERPs, accounting solutions, HR solutions, along with some of the more recently developed big data, NoSQL sources, operational databases, like you'll see CockroachDB in just a minute. And then, as Will mentioned, we have this generic API connector. So if you have an API that we don't support out of the box, you'll be able to easily configure our API connector to connect to your data, and then Looker can look at that. And it's not just Looker, it's all of the Google Cloud platform. Will has expressed, and Amit has talked about this a lot, that you get real-time data access. So you're not looking at warehouse data, you're not looking at historical data. So every time the dashboard is refreshed, you're getting the most up-to-date data. You're getting real-time analytics on your organization. You get customized views of data. So I think Mike is going to demonstrate this a little bit coming up after we're done, but you can create these views just like you would in a database, but instead of combining database tables, it's going to combine entities from across different SaaS applications and be able to create these curated, customized views of your organization that can then be easily and quickly visualized in applications and platforms like Looker. And then you're also getting some enterprise class security features. So we're going to use user-based permissions. So my CockroachDB account may have different permissions than Bruce's. And so when I create my connection in Connect Cloud, I'm only going to be able to see what my account is supposed to be able to see. Bruce's will be able to see what his can see. IT teams can easily configure this, get this set up to make sure that the right people in your organization are able to see the right data. and it really helps to reduce those IT headaches. So those are just some of the benefits. Onto the demo. So what are we going to show? We're going to show how easy it is to connect to data sources. We'll use CockroachDB as an example, but this ease of connectivity extends to all 100 plus data sources that we support. I'll go through a brief walkthrough of the Connect Cloud interface, and then I'll turn things over to Bruce, who's going to show how easy it is to Connect Cloud from Looker, thanks to Connect Cloud's SQL Server interface. And then Bruce will wrap things up with a visualization that gives a full picture of the organization. So combining visuals from our operational database with visuals from the analytical data store, so we get that 360-degree view of the business with both historical and real-time data. So with that, I am going to share my screen. So we'll do this one, and I'll move this out of the way. All right. Am I showing? Can everybody see Connect Cloud? Am I showing the right screen?
Yep.
You're good.
Okay, cool, awesome. So real quickly, this is the overview page. It gives us some telemetry about our Connect Cloud interface. So you can see that we've been running queries. You can see Bruce has been hogging our resources by querying a lot. So I think in the background, correct me if I'm wrong, your visualization is running right now, Bruce, right? So it's querying in real time as we go through. So you can see the number of queries that we've gone through.
Correct.
So we can see all that. Let's show how easy it is to connect. So we go to our connections page. We can see all of the connections that we have in existence. But when we're ready to connect to something new, we can come in and we can see this wide variety of data sources that we can connect to. So it's not just databases. It really extends that connectivity to different services and applications. So we'll scroll through here. And so it's 100 plus, and we're adding more every day. And like I said, we have that generic API connector that allows for connectivity to any data system that has an API. You can easily configure that. For the sake of brevity, I'm just going to take a look at this pre-configured connection to Bruce's CockroachDB instance. You can see here that we're simply just using configuration properties, connection properties, just like we would connect to this database if we were connecting from any other client. So we need to know the address, we need to know the specific database, port, user, password. We offer connectivity for services that use OAuth and SSO, Azure AD. So we'll support all of those connection principles, connection authentication methods. So you can easily get connected, just enter a few properties, and you'll click save and test to make sure that the connection is configured properly. And once we've done that, you can actually do some light data exploration in the Connect Cloud interface itself. So long before you ever start building your visualizations, you can make sure that you've got your permissions set up, that you can see the right pieces of your data that you need. And it is in this interface that you would actually be able to build those customized views. So if you knew a specific SQL query that you needed to visualize, and you want to hold that query in Connect Cloud instead of asking your visualization tool to build that query, you could write it out here, save it as a view, and be ready to connect. Speaking of being ready to connect, we're going to take a look at how easy it is to connect to Connect Cloud from Looker. So I'm just going to look up the Looker connection. So I'm logged in as me, so I would use my username and password. And then this is the server address and the port that I would use to connect from Looker. So I have all of this information. Bruce has all of the information for his account. So at this point, Bruce, I'm going to turn things over to you and let you show the connection interface in Looker and then show us that visualization.
Great. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Are you able to see my Looker connection screen?
We've got it.
All right. So you'll see that what we've done is really just transferred the data that Jerod was displaying. Let me stay logged in here. So what we do is we give our connection a name just so we can uniquely identify it. We're going to specify the database dialect that we want. And as I mentioned, Looker supports, over 50 unique database dialects. And so we're going to choose Microsoft SQL Server as the database dialect. And then we're just going to copy over the information that Jerod had shown, the host name, the port, For database, we're going to put in the name of the connection that we had created in CData Connect Cloud. And then my username and the password is going to be the personal access token that you create in CData. So that's all that's involved in creating a connection. It's really just copying over the details that that the tool shows you. So real easy to get set up. And now let's take a look at a dashboard. So the data that you're looking at is related to a fictional e-commerce store that sells clothing. So our fictional company is already using BigQuery for analytics and Looker as a business intelligence platform. And we want a high performance distributed cloud native database that runs on Google Cloud for our point of sale system. So CockroachDB sounds like a great choice. Unfortunately, Looker doesn't currently have native support for CockroachDB, but luckily we can use CData Connect Cloud to connect CockroachDB from Looker. So on the left side of the dashboard, we have these three tiles that are getting data live from CockroachDB. And on the right side, we have a couple of tiles that are showing just aggregated historical data that are coming from BigQuery. The three tiles that are showing the live data are configured to update every 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, Looker is sending a query to Connect Cloud, which then queries CockroachDB. So there's no data being cached, and we're always looking at the latest available data. So CData Connect Cloud adds value to Looker in several ways. First, Looker typically works with data that's in a centralized data store, which isn't always practical. You may not have time to wait for the data to be centralized. You may not have the infrastructure for getting real-time or near real-time data into your warehouse. Or you may be using a newer database that Looker doesn't support yet. And you can use Connect Cloud for real-time access to SaaS applications like Salesforce, Workday, Zendesk that Looker doesn't support natively. So CData Connect Cloud makes it possible for you to use Looker for accessing both historical views of your data from your data warehouse and real-time views of your data from both applications and data stores that Looker can't natively connect to. Jerod, anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I mean, I think that just about covers it. So, as always, Bruce, thanks for joining us. You're a great partner. We love working with you. I feel like you could probably just demo our stuff yourself. So we love having you on.
I often do.
You do. It's great. And again, just showcasing that ability to connect to what your tool can already connect to, and then extend that connectivity to the services and sources that the tool doesn't natively support. Really allows you to get that, holistic view of your organization, a holistic view of your data, find valuable insights, and hopefully drive your business.